For those of you that don't know, DVR solutions other than TiVo have been around for a while. Things like HD Home Run, Plex, and even some open source stuff like Myth TV. But Amazon is now coming in hot with a DVR solution of their own that might just replace them all. I'm Titus, this is The Search for Awesome, and this is my Amazon Fire Recast review. The setup was insanely easy, by far one of the easiest setups I've seen for a service like this. Simply get your antenna in place, plug in the Fire Recast, and then pull up the Fire TV app and you're off and running. The app even walks you through where you should place your antenna if you're having trouble. I love that I can simply place the Fire Recast anywhere in my house that gets the best antenna signal, and then it wirelessly transmits TV, my phone, my tablet. I did run into two small issues during the setup though. For one, my phone, for some reason, I can't set up Amazon devices. This time it wouldn't let me set up the Fire Recast. Last time it wouldn't let me set up the new Echo Dot. But when I finally realized it wasn't gonna work, I just asked my wife if I could use her phone, and then it was flawless. The second issue was when I was trying to get to search for channels, it just got locked up and wouldn't move anymore, so I just had to cancel it out, restart the app, and then it worked again flawlessly. Now, you may not know about these other alternative solutions that have been around for a while, like Plex and HD Home Run, but I've tried these in the past, and although they worked okay, I almost always ran into some kind of game-breaking issue that I just couldn't tolerate anymore. Neither of these were solutions that I would have recommended to my mom. But the Fire Recast seems pretty close to rock solid. The Recast blends perfectly with your Amazon Fire TV experience. Right after I set it up, a tab called DVR just auto-magically popped up. And in this tab, you have what's on now, what you recorded, a channel guide, and access to some settings. And you have a good bit of control here too. You can set it up to add recording time before or after the show you're recording. You can record just one episode of something or an entire series. Even the fast forward and rewind buttons are even thought out well. If you fast forward, it'll go forward 30 seconds. If you rewind, it goes back 10 seconds. I use this exact same setup in the podcasting app that I use. It's perfect for fine tuning to that exact point where your show starts after the commercial ends. It's even smart enough to know that when you're watching a sport that it'll prompt you to add an extra hour of recording time just in case the game goes into overtime past the regulation. You can even set it to protect certain shows, and that way when later the Fire Recast is deleting some old shows to make room for new shows, it won't delete one of your favorite episodes of something. This is one of the best DVR experiences I have ever seen. I mean, sure, I think it can be improved here and there, and I have faith that Amazon will do just that, but it's so simple to set up, and it's really simple to use. The Fire TV will even blend the show that you're watching inside of the Fire TV's UI when you're navigating around. It's pretty seamless. But when I did my TV scan for all the channels my antenna could get, I think I got about 40 or so, but not all channels are created equal here. Most of the channels are probably not channels I'm gonna record anything on or watch. But what's nice is I can even filter the channels that I don't plan on doing anything with from the guide, so I can just see the channels that I actually plan on using. I'll say for me that I maybe have 8 channels or so that I might record content from. One thing that's a little bit of a bummer is, although it has a channel guide, it doesn't have a way to search through all the different shows that are going to be coming on, so you can pick and choose what you want to record. For instance, Plex has a guide that literally lists from A to Z every single show that's going to come on for the next 2 weeks. It's really nice and user-friendly. I kind of hope Amazon adds something like that. And when I saw it was missing that feature, I thought that for me to actually record something, I was gonna have to find it on the guide. And then I had a light bulb moment, and I said, Alexa, record Gilligan's Island.
Scheduled to record Gilligan's Island.
That feature, that's pretty slick. There are a bunch of other voice commands too, you can cancel future recordings, see the channel guide, change the channel, play a show from the DVR, see how full your DVR is, and even see your recordings. And the Fire Recast supports mobile streaming too, which is pretty awesome. You just install the Fire TV app. I've tried this on my phone and on my Fire tablet. Both worked great. You can watch TV from it, you can watch your recordings, you can even mess with some of the settings, but it's not as full of an experience as it is on the Fire TV itself. I don't have access to a channel guide, so I can't record shows that are happening in the future. I can just record shows that are happening right now. But it's still a great and responsive experience though. On your phone, you can even watch things at like a lower resolution, and that way it doesn't like destroy your limited data. They offer 2 versions, one with 2 tuners and 75 hours of storage, and another with 4 tuners and 150 hours of storage. Each tuner, by the way, allows you to either watch or record one channel. So with the 4 tuner unit, you can have 2 different people in the house watching 2 different channels, and then on 2 other separate channels, you could be recording something. You can even change the priority of all the shows that you want to record, and that way, if there's ever a time where you don't have enough tuners to record all the things that you want to record, it knows which one's the most important to you. The Fire Recast sports an Ethernet jack as well, and that way if your Wi-Fi isn't so good, you can jack in the internet. But for me, I actually didn't need to do this. It actually does great via just my Wi-Fi network in my house. Now, I did recently upgrade my Wi-Fi to the Google Wi-Fi mesh devices, and I have a video coming up about that pretty soon, so subscribe so you don't miss that. So I'd say as long as you have decent Wi-Fi, you shouldn't have any problems using the Fire Recast via your Wi-Fi network. Now, there are a few things I want to note before I conclude this review. There are some networks, like NBC for instance, that during prime time, I personally, and I've known other people who have personally had issues actually watching the shows from their network. NBC is the only one that does it in my area, and from what I understand, at least I think it has like a limited bandwidth, and whenever a lot of people are watching it, it can't distribute it to all the people, and it kind of stinks because NBC has a lot of good shows. And lastly, I will note that the Fire TV only records at 1080p, so there is no 4K recording capability with this device. Now, some people will look at the price tag for this device and immediately be put off by it, but hold on just a second. To do what the Fire Recast is doing with like HD Home Run or Plex, you would first need a tuner. Like I spent like $180 on the tuner that I used a while back, and the cheapest tuner I've ever seen is like 70 bucks. It doesn't really get much cheaper than that. But you'd also need the software. Like HD Home Run is like $35 a year, I think, and Plex is like $40 a year. But even that isn't just it, because you need a computer or a NAS or some kind of device to run the software on and to record the TV shows too. Now you might be seeing why this isn't so crazy. When you do the math, it's actually a great value. Now, as I mentioned before, I tried the competition in the past, and I can firmly say right now that the Recast is the one I prefer the most, hands down. Now, I will mention in all fairness that Plex and HD Home Run do offer some unique features that the Fire Recast doesn't offer, but I think the Fire Recast overall is a much more polished experience. If you're in the market for a DVR solution that can record TV shows from your antenna, I think right now, this is the one to get. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And let me know in the comments what you think. Have you tried Plex or HD Home Run or something else? And what did you think of those? I would be really interested to know if anyone has actually perfectly implemented one of these solutions, because for me, I've tried many times, and every time I hit some sort of a wall. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much again for watching, and I guess I will see you next time when the search for awesome continues.